I'm gonna dance by myself like nobody.
The Crochet Crowd, Michael speaking.
Back away, Sage!
Dance like nobody's watching me.
So what we have to do is we have to orientate this bottom half to match the top half.
Don't really care if my rhythm's off, 'cause I'm gonna.
Good morning or good afternoon. It's now 1:41 p.m. Atlantic time, and I'm Mikey from the Crochet Crowd doing some design work today. And the Catherine wheel stitch, a blanket that I did actually in August. I started that in my stitch group. You know, sometimes I bring projects to stitch group or a stitch social setting where I don't really have to think about it. And the Catherine wheel stitch right behind me was the second stitch I ever learned as a child. I started to learn to crochet at the age of 14, and I saw this in a book. Actually, I think the book is here somewhere, maybe upstairs, but I have the original book for that. So I learned to crochet through diagram format, but what I did not know up until nearly 30 years, nearly about 25 years later, I realized that I was doing the Catherine wheel stitch wrong. And I had misunderstood the way that the wheel was done. So all of my Catherine wheel stitches had a wave to it and not a round circle. And because I thought it looked pretty cool, I didn't realize it was wrong until I got better at reading diagrams and reading instructions. And that was in my early 30s when I started the Crochet Crowd. And so what I picked up on that is that when you screw up in crochet, if it's wrong and you still like it, and you don't even know it's wrong, then is it truly wrong? Probably not. So anyway, so that was kind of my journey with that. So what I'm going to do today is that I've been working on this particular blanket. That's using Bernat blanket. I don't know how many balls I used yet. I have to weigh it. I have to double check. But there was a call out for the local mental health unit for more palliative care blankets that they can have for comfort. And so it gave me the idea to make one of those here, and it's made with Bernat blanket yarn in just 3 different colors. So I have a solid blue, I have a variegated, which I really like, this variegated blue, and then I have a lighter blue. I don't remember the names of the colors off the top of my head, but anyway, so today I want to memorialize the design on diagram format. I don't think I've ever did a crochet diagram for a Catherine wheel stitch, and I know other people have done it, but I don't have it on file. I have done it. Catherine wheel stitch was in the Better Together blanket stitch along that we did several years ago, but it was done as a round and not like this. And so I have done diagrams for it, but not like this. And then I'm also thinking, should I do it the way that I was doing it for 25 years in diagram format and say this is a different one, because it looks like a wave when you do it wrong, but in the way that I thought. So yeah, so that was kind of what I want to do today, get it memorialized. I know the pattern like the back of my head. Like it's really quite, it's an easy pattern to be able to do, and it is my favorite stitch of all these stitches of crochet I've ever learned. One Christmas, because I was so hard on money, I actually made crochet blankets for 3 people because that's all I could afford to do. And it was for my wife and my parents and also her parents. And so what happened is that I went to go apply for a mortgage, and the mortgage guy says you can afford this level of house, and it was only 175,000 Canadian at the time. And this is back in the 90s. And I thought, well, and anyway, we ended up buying the house, and we ended up realizing we couldn't afford the house. The mortgage every 2 weeks was like $1,800, and realized that the longer we lived in the house, the more in debt we were getting. So we realized that the calculator that the guy was using is accurate, but not if you have to eat and pay the car and the whole 9 yards. So what I decided to do is in a September is that every paycheck I would buy 2 balls of yarn, and then I'd crochet it up like in a couple days, and then I'd have to wait for my next paycheck 2 weeks later to be able to afford to buy more yarn. So it took me several months by the time Christmas came to be able to do that. So I don't think that's a unique situation. I think there's people out there that are living check to check like that. And so anyway, I used sparkle yarn when I did it because they were very Christmas oriented, and I was really quite proud of these things. I don't have a photo to share with you to prove that it's that I actually did it, but it was something I was really quite proud of. So what I want to do is that this blanket here is going to go to the mental health service unit once I'm done with it. I haven't woven in all my ends yet. But it's a nice, simple, easier way to do it, right? So, yeah, so I'm going to jump screens here, and we are going to begin our journey to be able to do this. Most of you know that I crochet diagram stuff out, and so I'm going to jump here and do it. So most of you know that when I do something like this, I take the last design, I just rename it, and then I get rid of the last design. I keep some stuff just because I don't have to redo the fonts and just do stuff like that. So I know that I will need at least these 3 things over here. Okay, so what I need to do is that when you do a crochet diagram work and you're trying to figure out what a design is, so I'm a very visual person, as probably some of you know, and so I have to diagram stuff out. So even when I'm teaching somebody else's design for another company, I actually have to draw the diagram in down and actually see what it looks like, because it makes me psychotic when I'm trying to teach. And so by doing that, it's basically like doing my homework in advance. So what I'm going to do, what is the first color when we start a pattern? It's always black. And so I just grab a whack of stitches, and what I need to do is just memorialize the repeat on it to have it done. And then I might actually do the wrong version that I had, just to prove that to myself that it can work. So I have a template that is for sale that I sell, and this is the template here. And we're going to begin to lay out the stitches and see what happens with this thing. And so I can already tell that my wheel is kind of messed up here. So I'm just going to place the wheel in somewhere, and then we're just going to go with it. So the wheel should actually come even further down. And hang on, I'm having a hot flash. Okay. So I don't like the way that this wheel looks. So what I'm going to do is that I want it to lay it down, but I want it to get it to the height of a single crochet height. So we need some single crochets here. Let's just grab some from here. The first row is always black. So it's either black or blue, and blue is always row number 2. So I'm going to start, and we're just going to put in 2. And we're going to bend this guy up. So I love, of all the crochet stuff I love doing, I love diagram work. You know, maybe one day I could get a side job in diagramming other people's patterns for a small fee, of course. So, okay, so what I need to do is that I need to get this guy to lean over better. So I am going to, and I need a total of 7 in the rotation. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get rid of, I'm going to ungroup it, and I'm going to rotate that center around. And I'm going to rotate it, if it starts off at 6, I'm going to see what this rotation will look like if it was 15. And so what I'm trying to do is just try to figure out, and once I do it once, I can put it back on my other template and then have it. So I'm just going to roughly say this is the center point I want it to follow. And we're going to say 360 degrees divided by 15 points. 15 is just a guess. So yeah. Okay, so I'm going to just go around and see what it looks like. So I need a total of 7. So this is down too low here. So if that was 15, let's go back. Let's do 14 and see what happens. It's just a wild guess. But once I do it once, that's it. Everybody's in trouble. So 360 degrees divided by 14 stitches. Okay, so what my problem is that it's not, I have to go less stitches. 14. I have to go more stitches. Let's try 17. I just need 7 to be in the right position. 360 degrees divide. This is going to be the hardest part of this whole pattern. D. That might be it right there. I'm going to try 18. (360 degrees divided by 18. Copy. Command D. I like that. There we go. Got it. Nailed it. Nailed it. Okay, so we're going to do that. So I just need, it always works on based on 7 for Catherine wheel stitch. You can do 9, but we have that. So there we go. So we have Nancy in the house, Amaris is in the house, Lauren, MDL, Vilma is in the house as well. So I'm going to take a copy of this and I'm going to take it over to my template and leave it there. I am going to leave it over here and put a note with it. Seven DC shells, and this was, it was 18, right? It was 360 degrees divided by 18 stitches. So I remember that in the future. Okay, so what app am I using? I'm using Adobe Illustrator. It's what the professionals use when it comes to doing design work. So we're going to put this back together as a group. So we have it. And so we now have 3 single crochets in a row. And that's going to be our repeat now across. So any good gossip today? Gina, Belinda, any good gossip? Good gossip means that I'm not involved. I just like good gossip. Anybody got a story to share? And I'm going to go one more repeat. And when I do that, I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to grab that and take it with me. Nobody's got any stories to share. Anybody want to share how long they've been crocheting or who taught them to crochet? I'm always interested in that. And so the ending has to be gone. So there is row number 1. And so what would the repeat be then on this? Anybody know? So I'm figuring out the repeat. So I draw a line down from the chain, and then the number of chains is the repeat. And we're going to grab that, center it, and this is the repeat. And make that red. So if Belinda's been 40 years, Angela or Cecilia, looking forward to November. Yes, I'm heading to Scotland on Thursday after loose ends. So we have a UK guest for loose ends on Thursday. So we'll be doing it in the afternoon instead. 35 years, we have MG in the house today. I had a dream about you, MG. I dreamt that I found a watch and I said, I think that belongs to MG. And certainly it did. But I don't know. Okay, so the repeat is going to be, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the repeat is 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 here. I'm just putting a note, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So so this is going to be 7, 8, 9, and 10. So the repeat is 8 stitches, 8 chain, plus 10. So these are left over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the repeat is 8 chains plus 10. My mom taught me to crochet when I was little. I wasn't interested, but 40 years later, crochet is one of those things where you get taught as a kid and then you kind of just push it off to the side. And then, crochet does cost money. It is a hobby. So I find that I'm teaching people in their later years that are returning back to the hobby, because once you got a family and the whole 9 yards, like the whole kit and caboodle can change, right? Okay, so what we need to do now is that we need to do, I wonder if that can be done. I need to do a 7 together stitch. I wonder if that can go upside down. So if you do your Catherine wheels like this, it becomes a Catherine wheel, what's that called? A Catherine wheel zigzag. But what I want to do is to group this, and I want to rotate it upside down. Oh my God, that actually matches. That is sickening. What are the chances of that? Oh, sweeties. It's close. It doesn't match 100%, but it's close. So Catherine wheel stitch is normally you skip 3 on the chains, but I find it looks really sloppy. So this is my own opinion. You could feel differently, but I feel like making the beginning chain a little tighter is always a good thing. I sound like Martha Stewart. It's a good thing. So the center is like that. So we just need to adjust this upside down one to match, right? So there has been a lot of, you know what Christy's talking about, people are putting more crochet in their projects. Absolutely, because it's like a cottagecore, really. So what's the problem with this stitch? That this stitch is upside down. So we're going to ungroup this. We're going to move this guy up. Whoops. Anyway, I find, which really does bother me in the industry, I find we're going to just go like that. That they tend to put crocheters as down and out poor people in TV. Anybody ever notice that? Anyway. And the slant always goes on this angle, not the other angle. Okay, so what I want to do is that I want to match the bottoms of these guys. I'm going to ungroup everything. Ungroup. So has anybody ever noticed that? Where the sitcoms, for example, when people tend to be poor, they put crochet on the backgrounds. It's probably why what really caught my attention as a 14-year-old was that there was a granny square blanket on the back of Roseanne's TV show. There was and I knew it was crochet because my sister had done crochet. She learned in brownies and guides to crochet, and so she taught my mom to crochet, and then my mom eventually then taught me later on in the years. But crochet for me was based on my mom basically doing a reach out to me. We were always a creative house. And so for me to ask my mom to teach me to crochet was not new information. I had the slant the wrong direction. So it's not, it wasn't a thing that I do that. It wasn't a thing for me to ask her to show me how. It's just, it was natural because my mom always was doing crafting in some way. So my mom used to quilt at one point. And I don't want to do what I'm about to do, but I think I need to do it. I want to get these more I never changed that. I'm going to pardon me for a moment. Ungroup. I am going to adjust these guys a little bit, just to make them a little bit more spaced. Just to get this guy a little bit further out. And because I'm anal retentive, I am going to get rid of these guys and reflect those three because the spacing I really want. I'm going to reflect. Most of my crafting knowledge came from magazines. I had bought a book when I was a kid to teach me how to do. My mom only knew how to do. My mother only knew how to do double crochet, So a book is actually what taught me stitches like this. So I learned, as many of you know, I learned to crochet with diagrams right off the hop. And I'm not a strong reader. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, as you probably realized. So the diagrams kind of helped me because, you know, I struggle with the English language, as most of you can tell. So yeah. Okay, so I've just spaced that a little bit better. And then what I'm going to do is aim these better. That goes out. And a problem I just noticed is that the height doesn't match these, so I'm going to match my height. And we know now that these guys here, if I've done it right, these guys will match. So we're going to reflect that. So I should be able to line those up. Yep. But I would have never expected as a kid that, and I'm going to show a ruler. I wouldn't show rulers. I would have never expected as a kid this would turn into a career. I don't know why the rulers aren't showing. So this is actually a chain 3 here. And row 2 is always blue. Okay, so I have now adjusted this guy. So this one's obsolete. This is obsolete and obsolete. I'm going to put these back together. Group. And we're also going to put these guys together as one. Group. I'm also going to take this guy I'm also going to take this guy here and copy it over to the template. This is DC 7 together. I'm just going to put it's a Catherine wheel stitch under stitch. So I'm just going to put Catherine's there. Better save that too. So technically I should be able to copy all of this and take it with me. And we're going to also take that guy with us. Okay, and this is right here. So when I did this stitch for the first time when I was 14, I had the blanket go up on an angle because I wasn't understanding the stitch counts on the edges. And so I ended up with this really horrible edge blanket. But I just kept going. I knew it was wrong. But I kept it going anyway. Thought, you know, it's a learning curve. And then I eventually realized how to count stitches perfectly. It took me a couple more years, but you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Do you have that layer turned off? It is very possible, sweetie. Very possible. Okay, then we're going to grab this, guys, and take it to the edge. And these three. So if you don't have 3 single crochets in the center of the square and you only do like 1, it changes the shape from being a circle to like a square. And again, that's more designer level information that you probably don't care about. But okay, so that was row number 2. So there's always 4 rows that make up a Catherine wheel stitch. So the number 2 is right here. So we're going to grab just some information here. That'll be number 2. This will be number 1 over here. So has anybody ever done that where you do a crochet stitch incorrectly, but you don't realize it until after it's done, but then you kind of like it anyway? So you just say, screw it, I love it. That's my story. I'm sticking by it, my friends. Okay, so the next layer is this layer here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this all on one layer. Number 1. I called MDL calls them happy stitches. So MDL is Michael, by the way. Just MDL runs a Tunisian channel, just in case you're interested in knowing more about him. He does tutorial videos for Tunisian. He loves Tunisian. I don't love it, but he does a much better job of it, and his curiosity with it really keeps him engaged. So there's certain parts I like doing blankets. I don't like doing clothing. Um, the designer usually finds their own specialty, and he has found that he likes Tunisian. So if you're ever interested in that, Michael is your guy for that. He's out of the United States as well, in case that matters for you. Okay, so what we're going to do is that we need to realign this guy here. So he's going to go right there. So if anybody's curious what made me screw up my, I don't know why that's doing that. What made me screw up my, my pattern is that I never chained 3 before I started the 7 together double crochet. And because of it, it causes it to pull over. But I really like the look of it. I thought it was quite cool. So I actually designed many years ago. It might still be on my website, but I actually did this mat for my front door with the stitch. But I was an idiot and used roving yarn instead of like cotton. Anyway, the mat just completely disintegrated. But it was really pretty. So pretty to look at, but not smart to do. Okay. So then we're going to take the next row here and move it up and put that on row number 4. Got it. Done. So that was row number 4. And then number 5, I bet you know what that is now. Number 5 is this. I'm just going to realign. Not sure why those ones worked out and this one didn't. It's a small detail, but it matters to me. So then the repeat is actually right to there. So I'm going to need one more of this to show that it does actually repeat. And that should just be able to push up. Goes to row 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's number 5. Arranged, send to the current layer. This is number 6. I can't believe of all the years of me learning or doing these diagram work that I've never done a diagram for Catherine wheel. I'm a bit surprised with myself because it's my favorite stitch of them all. just going to adjust this one ever so slightly. People probably won't even notice. So the bottom of the stitch is pointing to where the stitch goes. That one's lined up. Okay, so that's it. So we got 2, 4, and 6. So these are the row counts, 2, 4, and 6. This is 3 and 5. And 5. I wonder what I should name the stitch though, from the mistake I did. So the repeat then would be from 2 to 6. No, 2 to 5. Yeah, 2 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 2 to 5. I only put the 6 there to show that it's repeating. So Amy's joining us today. Trish, Infinitely Zero, Nessa, and Lisa is joining us live today. Graph paper is so much easier. Yes, it totally is. You know what? For me, I was getting criticized that, oh, your writing looks like crap, and why can't you do it professionally? Because people expect people like me to actually know how to do it, but it took me years to do it on computer. So people online have this serious expectation sometimes that is just ridiculous. And we're going to put our stitch key in, because it's always like, it would be nice if, well, sometimes the designer doesn't know how to do it, aka me. So it's a bit much. So I have a choice when I write this. Oh, hang on. Oh, Christ. Hang on. Hang on. Dan is messaging me. He says, well, I'm effed. Hang on. He's on this side of a hill with the tractor, and I think the tractor is about to roll into the ditch. I'm telling him to call a tow truck to pull him out before it actually topples. So is this graph paper on Illustrator? It's just, I put the grid lines on the Illustrator. So it's not technically graph paper. It's just a grid line. Sorry, I'm just watching for Daniel's response. Okay, so the question is, do I call it a 7DC shell, or do I just say 7 double crochets into the next stitch? My patterns are amigurumi and I don't have the resources to do round diagrams. You can always learn how to do it. And somebody says, Melba is saying, help me. Okay, so I need to do my stitch key here. I might call this a 7 double crochet shell group in the pattern. It's easier to do that than it is to say 7 double crochet. We're going to take that down and we're going to do a 7 double crochet together stitch. So in the stitch key, they're always black. It doesn't matter what row it's on. Okay, we're just going to match the height so it looks consistent. And then use the words. So the less words you can use in a pattern, the more likely that a crochet will actually do it. Double crochet 7 together, or shell and brackets. Seven DC in the same stitch. And then we're going to copy that over. And this is a DC 7 together. So somebody's got to do a work meeting. Here we go. Okay, got it. Okay, so we got this pretty much done. So I think I might diagram this thing the way that I did my error when I was a kid. Just going to get rid of some other stuff. Just making my artboard a little bit smaller. Okay, so we're going to go back. So when I was a kid, I did it wrong. So this is, I'm going to label this as the Catherine wheel stitch because it is. You know what, Catherine wheel stitch. If I was smart, I would do also the Catherine wheel stitch as a zigzag because I do have a pattern for that, and I can add the diagram to that pattern. And it's just a matter of adjusting this one just slightly. So that one That one changes here. The Catherine wheel stitch wave is exactly what we see here. There's no under, there's no going under. No, it's down. Okay. Okay, we're just going to do a sample. So the wave, the Catherine wheel stitch wave looks like that. Comes down. So the wave, nope, I don't want to adjust that. Okay. Yeah, just give me a few moments here. Just give me a few moments, please. Hi, good afternoon. It's Michael calling from Greenwich. How are you this morning or this afternoon? Not bad. I have a tractor that's about to fall into a ravine that I need pulled back out of the ravine. We're located in Greenwich. Yes, we're located in Greenwich. Yes, I'm here. Yeah, sorry. So it's located in Greenwich. 9882 Highway 1. Real close to Robin.
Okay, sorry about that. Tow truck is on the way for Daniel. Okay, so what I want to do is that I need to see what this looks like lined up so I can adjust. down. So I don't like how this is running that low. So I am going to adjust this now. So this is way too low. It's not matching the flow. So I am going to, I'll do this one here. So usually the stuff like this, let's ungroup that and put it back together later. Ungroup. So this program is really quite expensive to have. It's part of the operational costs of running a business, unfortunately. But I use Adobe Illustrator a lot. One of the services I need to get rid of is Canva because I'm trying to cut some operational costs. So I'm gonna just change him. So I'm the budget guy of Daniel and I. I'm trying to get pictures to go to the tow truck company. So I live on the side of a ridge of a valley, and unfortunately, the cell towers barely get to my house. I had this lady message me last week that she wants my personal phone number, or she's not going to place an order for my patterns, and I told her I wasn't going to do that because I only have a cell phone, and I don't have a phone center service. But I was pretty clear with her. I said, if you feel uneasy about making a purchase on the website, then it's probably best you don't do it. So just there you go. It's better to be honest than it is to be man, oh man. Finally, okay. And it's very possible that people think that we're bigger than we are as far as like team members and support. Okay, so that's that. I don't love that, but I don't hate it too much, I guess. Oh, geez, that looks like sin. If sin had a look, this is what it looks like. Oh, hang on, tow truck's here. Okay, and Daniel's gonna deal with that. It's a great thing about living in a small community. People are pretty quick generally. I'm trying to get the happy balance of the spacing. It's sometimes easier to design this stuff while you're in motion of like kind of altering things or doing alternatives than it is to turn on your brain and redo the work later, which is what I'm doing today. Number 2, it's garbage. So this is, for those that are joining us right now, this is the Catherine wheel stitch, but as a wave instead. Okay, this was row number 2. Okay, this is row number 3. Excuse me. So this pattern would only be a 2-row repeat instead of 4, like the original Catherine wheel stitch. So that was number 3, right there. And so then the repeat is just 2 rows, number 2 and 3. But I need to put number 4 there because it's to show that it's repeating. So number 4 would be right there. Oh. Why is that one empty? Okay, so that would be number 4. So I'm the dude standing at the bus stop with crochet in my hands. So savory would be like, I like savory like lumberjack bun witch, which I've never heard of, old Dutch barbecue corn chips, or cheesies. That does sound tempting. I like corn chips, but then it makes me feel really nauseous after, and yet I know that, and yet I still buy it because I'm an idiot. Okay, so this is the Catherine wheel stitch zigzag. And what makes this zigzag is that 2 rows are always the same color. So the color will come up here and then up and over and then back down and up and down and up and down. And then next time you do the next color, I'm wondering I should just for let me just put another group in there. It doesn't hurt to put more rows, even though it's the same thing. So where else do people crochet? So bus stops, restaurants. I've crocheted in a church before. I have a hard time sitting still. People say it's unholy to do that, but I think it's worse if you're not listening to the message. But what do I know? Not much. I also think too, if people are going to complain about somebody sitting in church crocheting, then they're not paying enough attention to the word. That's right. So I'm just putting in my stops and starts. Doctor's office, we have online meetings. So when I'm in an online meeting, I don't actually crochet. I find it's too distracting for me because I want to take notes and stuff. But if you don't have to, then probably could. I talked to a fellow friend of mine that works in our industry, and they said they absolutely hate when people are crocheting as they're trying to give instruction. And they said because your body actually cannot do two things at once, you truly are not able to be multitasking. And that's not coming from me, but it seems like that makes sense. Okay, so what I like to do different is that I do change things. So when I do the Catherine wheel stitch, the underside here, I don't actually chain 3, even though it's a double crochet that's sitting there. I find it looks sloppy on the edge, so I only chain 2. Because when you do the together stitch and you pull through, that pull through actually makes it the equivalent of a chain 3. And that's just my own experience. Okay. So it comes across here, goes back. So we come across, we come back. So there's going to be one right there. This here is going to be a chain 3. So when it's top side of stitch work, I don't mind. It's the together stitch that I think it looks weird. Okay, so it goes across, so it comes across, it goes back, it comes back, it goes across. So I think okay, there's something missing here. So it came across and now it goes back. So I'm going to take that with me. So I like the angle. That's why I maintain that. So this is going to go down here. And it has to be blue. Okay, so we got that. Okay, and now I've got to design it the way that I was doing it wrong all these years, because it really makes a really interesting stitch. So for those that are late to the party, I had been doing this stitch wrong for years, but I really liked it. And what I was missing is the chain 3 before I did this. And what it does is it pulls everything to be really compact, like really compact, and it does a beautiful texture. You have no idea. Well, maybe you do. So I knew to chain 3 after I did it together, but I did not know to chain 3 beforehand. So what I'm going to do is move these guys out of the way. And we're going to adjust where I had been screwing up all my life. So I did not know to chain 3 beforehand. So these 3 are gone technically. This here, let's ungroup.
I gotta get my credit card.
Oh, no, just do mine because I can write it off.
Oh, okay.
Is it out?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Oh, it's just behind it's behind the truck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyways. Big deal.
It's pretty fast, eh?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Good. Okay. Okay, so tractor is out of the ditch. Okay, so I did not know that I need to do this. So I'm changing the top point to where I had been screwing up all my life. I should recrochet a new sample of that. There is actually a sample of me doing it wrong. I can pull it out and you can see the difference of it. So when my wife and I got a divorce, I made one of these blankets for me because I was just coming out of the closet, and actually it's on the Crochet Crowd, and I'll pull that out for you. So I was still doing it wrong even through my divorce. So this is, I'm going to give you a link for it so you can see it. And this is what it looks like when you do it wrong. It's really compact and it looks really awesome. And it creates a texture like is phenomenal. So anyway, I came out of the closet and then I started doing a blanket because I was burying my feelings into something real. So I used to only crochet when I was really upset. So that this is my, so that link is my divorce blanket. Okay. And what I will be able to do is that pattern I just showed you, I'll be able to provide this diagram with it, because I didn't do one because I did that. Think about, when did I get divorced? My wife and I separated in 2000. So I would have done that blanket in the year 2000. So anyway, when I became a transport driver, that was the blanket I had with me in the truck. So I had used 2 yarns together, and it was exceptionally warm. So I would have locations like in the middle of winter up in Minnesota. And that blanket kept me really warm, and it was a reminder of my journey. So I should actually name the stitch then, because this doesn't actually exist. It was my error. Right. So that's what happened, was that I was missing the first 3. Going to copy that or group it. So from positive, from a negative, yeah. So what clued me in for the Crochet Crowd, if anybody doesn't know my story, is that I realized when I was sitting watching Oprah that I was crocheting and I was really upset. And I thought, shoot, if I crochet more often, maybe I wouldn't, because I was using crochet as a mental therapy. I thought if I crochet more often, maybe I wouldn't be so upset all the time and find mental balance. And that's what I did. That's what I did. And so then once I decided I was going to do that, I'm like, I got no friends that crochet, and you can show your work online and people are like, oh, that's nice. And but people really don't understand the journey, right? So anyway, so then I found oh my God, that's why my corners are always screwed up. This is why my edging was always screwed up. It's right here. I can see it now that I've diagrammed it. I wondered why the edging was always pulled in like that. Huh. Well, there you have it, folks. So then my next one, that was number 2. So my next one was the proper way. Well, it technically wasn't, but it was. So anyway, so once I determined that I was going to crochet more often and do what I did with the crochet crowd, I actually found myself healing. And because what I was noticing with myself, and I'm only speaking from my experiences, is that I would crochet so much that I was feeling sorry for myself, and so I would get myself into a wallowing situation where I'd get really quite manic, and because of it, I was turning myself into a mental mess. So because of the So, and I'm sure other people can relate to that too, where you just, you do something and it's very sedentary. Is that the right word? Where you're just sitting around too long and you're thinking and you're rehashing situations. And because I got a divorce, I was like feeling sorry for myself, but I was also kind of excited too because I could move on with my life. And the divorce was relatively easy as well. It's just, we didn't have kids. We just had to sell a house and move on with our lives. Now that I'm seeing this in diagram format, I can see how I can see the pull. I can see the tension within the stitch here. Okay, this is row number 3. Mikey's wheel. Is that self-serving to use my first name in a thing? I had this one lady, she invented a stitch, and then she says, I'm going to give you a stitch, but if you ever decide to use this stitch, I need full credit for it and a royalty for using it. And so I never opened up the pattern. And I thought to myself, I am not doing that, because the amount of stitches that I've actually developed, I don't ever charge people for that. And if another designer is inspired by it, go at it. Anyways, she thought it was going to be an opportunity to make money, but she barked up the wrong tree with me. Okay. So, okay, so I was just checking to make sure that this middle was in there. One group. So that's why this is pulled in like that. I always wondered. So that means then we're going to do, so that means that we're going to grab this guy here. I always pay for a pattern, but I sure wouldn't pay for a stitch. Yeah, so I made sure I never opened it as well. I had another guy actually this year try to do the same thing. I'm like, you are barking up the wrong tree. So it comes across and then back up. Okay, so this is wrong. I need to flip it. Reflect. So anyway, the guy wanted me to develop a whole stitch library for it. And so he just called it stitch 1, 2, and 3. And I'm like, a consumer is not going to look up stitch 1, 2, or 3. Do you actually have a name for it? And he never had a name for anything. And so anyway, I decided that the ship was not going to sail with me. Do you see the tension in that stitch? Jesus, that's pretty cool. That's a 14-year-old's mistake right there. Love it. Love it. How do I get this app so I can do my own patterns? This is just Adobe Illustrator, but all the stitch work you see is I've hand drawn all of those symbols. It's just I've done it years ago that I'm just pasting and copying my symbols. But Adobe Illustrator, as we talked about a little bit earlier, it's not a cheap date. I'm going to save this out of the way. I'll save this, but I write it off as part of the operational for the crochet crowd. I think the program, I think it's around $200 a month. But I do use it, so I find it's a great investment. Okay, so this pulls this way, so then I need this guy over here, and he's got to pull in the other direction. We're going to take this guy, and we need to pull him the other way. What am I going to name this stitch? Any ideas? I'm so talented. I don't know. Crazy for sure. I would not say talented. So as a kid, I would never have been able to draw these diagrams because I didn't know how to ungroup. I only misunderstood the pattern. That's out. And that goes over there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is row 5. And then I think I need row 6. Row 6 just to show that it actually does repeat itself. Okay, so now I got to put my, so we come up, over, back. This guy here turns into a chain 3. Okay, so that's 3. There, back comes up. We have this guy here. Oh, I already have him here. 4, and then he comes back. 5. Got it. So what am I going to call this stitch? New beginnings. a new beginning stitch, our turbulence, since it was trying in your times. It's got to be something easy for kaleidoscope. People don't know how to spell kaleidoscope. We have a kaleidoscope, 2 kaleidoscope blankets, but nobody knows how to spell that. Well, very few people do. You know what? I'm going to call it tension wheel, because it is about the tension. The tension is really tight. Tension wheel stitch. The wobbly wheel. And so now we got 3 versions of the Catherine wheel stitch. So what I'm going to need to do now is I need to, if I'm going to use this in a write-up, I need to create the stitch diagrams or the stitch keys for it. So we got the first stitch key here. And then we got the next one. So the wobbly wheel is fun. Something Mrs. Weasley would do from Harry Potter. Or the wobbly wheel. Wobbly wheel. The wobbly wheel. Who else said wobbly wheel? Somebody else said wobbly wheel. Yeah, you know what? The hell with it. We'll call it wobbly wheel. A wobbly wheel. Inspired by Mrs. Weasley. It needs a single crochet in the stitch key. Thank you so much. You're right. It's easy to forget the simple stuff like that. That looks like that's going into that. I think I'm going to move this down. But technically, it should be in order of size. Let's move that down. Okay, let's center these guys up. Okay, let's align these guys perfectly. And we'll move these guys down. Got it. Oh, and this one does not have that. So let's just use this one here. Take this out. Okay. And now this one does not have the 7 together, so we'll get rid of that. Reduce the size. And then the other one has, we'll get rid of that. And we just changed the shape of the symbols. It's because it's the same thing. Right? right there. So we're going to say grab that guy down. I just put in the same together into the same one. Center these guys up. And we'll grab this guy here.
Oh, sorry. Did I scare you?
No, I'm live, just so
Oh.
you know. Okay, you're good?
Yeah. You talked a lot.
Oh, why are you in trouble?
No, just politics.
Oh, God. Why would you do that? He's a stranger.
What?
You don't talk politics with a stranger. You know better.
Well, we're in Nova Scotia. We all talk about everything.
Oh, Jesus. That was Daddy giving a lecture. You don't talk politics with a stranger. Okay, so I think that's it. Not the wobbly wheel stitch. So Daniel's already long gone. The tractor is upright, so that's good. Let's save our work here. Save as. And in the ombre, do you think it would really work in the I don't know. Because what makes this stitch work is that it is the tops and the bottoms, if they match each other, then they look really good. I don't know. You'd have to try that, Lauren. I don't know if that would be true or not. So, okay, so now we have 3 patterns here. So I was just looking at the pattern that I used to, that is the original one that I wrote, Vibrant Wheel, and looking at the way that I wrote the pattern, it's horrible, to say the least, because I know how to write patterns now versus, oh my God, it's like 5 pages for 4 lines. Oh my God. Oh my God, look at the notes. This Afghan is a yarn pig. Oh God, look at the way I wrote that. This creates a partial circle on the edging that is required. Oh, painful. Written in 2012. What a sin. What a sin. I think I'm going to rewrite this pattern. I'm totally going to rewrite this pattern. Oh my God, it's horrible. Horrible, 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 horrible. Okay, fine. I don't want to, but I think I have to. Because honestly, nobody's going to be following the pattern for that. It's horrible. So somebody's been a busy boy. Okay, so we got the wobbly wheel stitch. We'll take a copy of that. And we'll take a copy of the zigzag because I did a pattern for that too many years ago. And I can add that to my pattern. And then I can do the original Catherine wheel stitch. You know what I'm going to do? I am not going to use this pattern. I'm not going to follow the pattern that I wrote because it's so bad, like so bad. So I think I'm better off to write something fresh instead of being inspired by something that's clearly wrong. Stop screen. Share screen. Okay. So I'm still going to call it the Vibrant Crochet Vibrant. Wobbly wheel. Okay, we're going to get rid of that. And downloads. This was the original. That's my divorce blanket right there. Okay, let's take a look at the pattern. Okay, Red Heart Super Saver is what I used. Oh my God, I actually put a size of the blanket. That's like new. Okay, that's shocking. Okay. This is going back to 2012. I bought a 44 long. Now, if it's a, oh my God, I used a 4.5 millimeter size US 7. Am I nuts? Oh, this is the other pattern. Duh. No. and I double stranded this thing, so I have to, I don't know what my gauge would be. K dash 10.5. Okay, so what we have here, oops. You should see the original pattern. Oh my God, it's horrible. So I'll post a link on it so you can mock me if you want to. It's horrible, 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 horrible. This is me writing in 2012, the way that you see it there. Oh my God, it's horrible. Double stranded. This is a double stranded yarn blanket known as marling. That's the next wheel. And I did use Red Heart Super Saver, Red Heart Super Saver. And I don't remember the yardage on that, so that's a Yarn Inspirations question. Okay. Okay, I need to be more simple. Yarn. A equals black, B is red, C is orange, D is yellow, E is blue or green. F equals blue. G equals purple. And then each of these need 4 balls. It was a very heavy blanket, very heavy. Okay. And I'm going to make that into a points list. Okay. And last updated is today's date, September 10th. So notes, let's abbreviations. Notes. People always stitch repeat is 8 chains plus 10. No, okay, so according to me, the pattern was 253, I think, 253 chains with a chain 253, but I don't believe that. Not with this stitch count, so I'm going to check that before I go any further. Get my calculator out. 253 divided by 8 equals, okay, 30 times 8 equals 240. 240 plus 10, so 250 is the chain count. And I am going to get rid of everything else here. Crochet diagram. Insert. And I'm going to put my diagram there for people to download it. This is the wobbly wheel. That's the crochet diagram. So let's, okay, we don't have any trebles. Slip stitch, we don't have. Skip, we do. Everything is in, these abbreviations are always in alphabetical order. Beginning bean stitch is gone. Chain, double crochet, I can leave that there. Picot is gone. Single crochets, we use double crochets. So what are we missing? We're missing shells. Shell equals 7 double crochet. Same stitch. And then what else am I missing? I'm double crochet 7 together. skip yarn over. I don't think I'm using that. And crocheting a dishcloth. You could test it, Lauren. I'm okay with you testing. You may be disappointed though, but hey, you may create something that I'm not aware of. Okay, so 250 stitches, 250 chain. Let's start writing. One single crochet, second chain from hook, one single crochet in next chain. Skip next 2 chain, shell in next chain. Skip next 2 chain, and this is the repeat right here. One single crochet in next 3 chain, skip next 2 chain, one shell in next chain. Repeat from asterisk across. Until 4 chain remain. Did I put remain in there? Remain is not there. Remaining. Skip next 2 chain, one single crochet in last 2 chain. Turn. Does anyone have a big cake of cookie crumble of Caron yarn? I do not. I know that for sure. Okay, so let me just check my work. So one single second chain from the hook, one single in the next chain, skip 2 chain, shell in next chain, skip 2 chain, one single crochet in the next 3. This is our repeat going across. Skip next 2 chain, shell in next chain, repeat from here. Skip next. I think the repeat is actually here. Let me just test that. Skip next 2 chain. One single crochet in the next 3. Skip next 2 chain, shell in the next chain, and repeat from there. So skip next 2. Okay, got it. That's it. Okay, so second row. Oh, and then what we need to do is that we need to break a with 2 strands of A. Okay, so we need to add the V and continue with other strand of A. And we need to do a beginning for DC together stitch, beginning for double crochet together stitch. And then we need to define that. So we need to chain 2. DC 3 together. Next 3 stitches. Double crochet together. So by defining it here, you can be less wordy over here. So beginning 4 together, double crochet stitch, chain 3. One single crochet, next 3 DC. And this is the repeat right here. DC 7 together. Over next 7 stitches. Chain 3, 1 single crochet over next 3 DC. Repeat from here across. And this is another one, DC 4 together. DC 4 together over last 4 stitches in row. Break A. Oh, I'm not breaking anything. Turn. Okay, third row. Chain 3 counts as double crochet as DC here and throughout. 3 DC in same beginning stitch. One single crochet in next 3 single crochet, and the repeat starts here. 7 shell of DC 7 together stitch, 1 single crochet in next 3 single crochet. Repeat from across. 4 DC in top of last beginning 4. That should actually be together like that. So we're going to break A. Break A. You know what? Just break A only. Break A. 1 strand of A. So this is B. Break, continue with I'm trying not to be too worried. People quit stuff when they when it's too wordy. So fourth row. I want to say things like attach 1 strand. I just want to keep it consistent. So 1 strand of attach 1 strand of B and continue with the other strand of B. That would be B strand, continue with the other B. So this is number 4. Chain 1. Two stitches, chain 3. The repeat starts here. Chain 3, DC 7 together over next 7 stitches. One single crochet over next 3 DC. Repeat from across. The repeat is not there. The repeat has to end with 3 single crochet. The repeat is right here. chain 3. Oh, it is. It's right. It is right there. No, it's not. The repeat is right here. 1 single crochet, chain 3. You see 7 together over next 7 stitches. Repeat from across. One single crochet in the last 2 stitches. Turn. So I'm currently using B and B. B and A. Two strands of A. Chain 1, 1 single crochet in first 2 stitches. And shell in top of next 7 or DC 7 together stitch. Skip next chain 3 and 1 single crochet and next 3 single crochet. I think the repeat is right here. One single crochet in the next 3. Shell in top of next DC 7 together stitch. Chain 3. So skip next chain 3. 1 single crochet in the next 3 single crochet. Repeat from across. 1 single crochet in last 2 single crochet. Turn. And then we're going to break strand B and continue Is that right? Oh, there's another okay, so there's a channel. I've been getting emails on that, but they're over in the Middle East, and I wouldn't worry about it, honestly. People can tell it's not me. Repeat from there are some things that are worth fighting about, and then there's other things that are not. It's clearly not me, so I'm not going to put any mental inventory into that. Is as follows. B. C. C. D. So CB, then CC, CD, DD, and E, and E, F. Was there H? Did we use an H? G. Okay, so we had AA, BA, BB. Oh, we're gonna go A, G and A and A, A and B, B and B. F and F, not G and G. F and F. Good one. That was a good one. F and F. So E, F, F and F, F and G, G and G, G and A and A and B, B and B. And then it takes you back to B and C. This fading of the colors. Okay, so there you go. I think I'm done. You know, these colors are from 2000, the year 2000. So I'm sure the colors have changed over time. So what I'm going to do is I'll put a note. Sample shown was made in 2000. Colors since, oh my God, is that like 25 years ago? Sequences. I don't know if anybody pays attention to this stuff like that. Starred 56 is with us today. And we'll get rid of the rest of this stuff. Oh, we'll keep the diagram. Suggested border. Let's do a suggested border. Suggested border. Evenly spaced. A blanket. Same color. In corners, place a 3 single crochet to allow a 90-degree turn. To do. Suggested border. I would just single crochet around that. Simple. Okay, so I think I'm good with that. This is a double-stranded blanket known as marled yarn. 2 strands are always in use. If one color is solid, it's 2 different balls of the same color. The blanket phases throughout the rainbow, as the next wheel would be 1 strand of the previous wheel color, and then the other strand, and the other is the newest color to add. The sample shown was made in 2000. The colors changed tones since then. Don't be afraid to experiment. I am going to add one more note. Double stranding makes the stitch concept heavyweight, which it does. I think I'm done. Including crochet diagram. That's good. Okay, so that's it. So double stranding uses a lot of yarn. It totally does. It totally does. But you know what? Yeah. It does, but there's a purpose for it. Okay, so I think that's done for now. Okay, so I got some more you think a more neutral color running through it. Huh. It's not a bad idea either. It would settle down the toning of it for sure. And it does, it really does thicken up the blanket. I don't think I put oh, maybe I did put a border on it. I think I did. Who would have thought, eh? Okay. Could have been the anxiety blanket too, because certainly had that then too.
Okay, that's it for now. We hope you have a great afternoon, and thanks for kind of shadowing me this afternoon. We'll see you.